Welcome to Spilling the Tea, our first episode, Kurt.
Here we are.
I'm Eva. I'm a 23 handicap, started a year ago, caught the bug, and here we are. So tell me about yourself, Kurt. Tell me how you started golfing.
I started golfing as soon as I could swing a club. My dad was a big golfer, so he taught me.
Did you have those little plastic baby clubs?
Oh, yeah, yeah. And then sort of gained popularity again recently, but there's this it's like you hold it like you're holding a real golf club, and then at the bottom of
Yeah.
the club is like a miniature guy who like swings a little like mini club, and you like pull a trigger to make him swing, but it's like miniature golf. And I have memories of us having that in our basement when I was a kid, because
I
growing up in
love
Wisconsin,
that.
you don't get to play in the winter, so you got to find ways to do indoor golf.
That's right.
But
Yeah.
but had all that. I took lessons at like age 12 or 13. I too young to even remember. I do remember that her name was Squib. She was the club
Squib.
pro at the course I grew up playing at. Yeah, Drugan's Castle Mound in Holman, Wisconsin. And Squib was the club pro there. And she was a sweet old lady. And she taught me the 9 o'clock shot, like the 3/4 swing. And
Don't know what you're talking about. Probably should learn. Okay.
we'll get into that in my nerdy segment. But
Okay.
yeah, the 9 o'clock shot where your backswing goes to 9 and then your follow through goes to 12. So 9 o'clock.
All right.
But she taught me that, and then I didn't play for my high school. I didn't play competitive golf, but we had a lot of friends that played golf, so we played a lot. And then played a little bit in Chicago, but moved out to LA, and then LA is expensive, so I didn't play as much as I was wanting to. But in 2019, found the bug again and
Yeah.
got real serious. Joined a league. COVID happened, but then golf was one of the first things to open back up again. So kept playing, joined another league, got fitted for the first time, and then been tracking my gin, been playing in tournaments and trying to lower my handicap. So got real serious in the last few years.
I just want to give a little background and history on where we're coming from and what we're trying to do here. We're just two people who love to play golf and want to talk about where we play. That's going to look like every episode playing a different course and then breaking that course down. So we're going to break them down by price, playability, and personality. And then we're going to leave the episode with a 1 through 10 scoring. I don't know Kurt's score. He doesn't know my score. So we really want this podcast to be for the everyday golfer like we are. And so we're going to pay, play, and then spill the hot gas one round at a time. We started hot, I think, with Anaheim Hills. So I'm really
Oh yeah, real
excited to
hot.
jump. I'm really excited to jump into this. But first, I want to share today's sponsor, my friend Ralph, the guy I played with last week, who should be hitting from the ladies' tees, but gives me chipping advice instead. So love Ralph. Like, Ralph also has like 3 properties that he rents out locally, and he's 62 and his wife is awesome. Ralph loves to talk about himself. And so thank you, Ralph, for sponsoring this episode today. But let's jump in, Kurt, to our first course that we played. So we played Anaheim Hills Golf Club in Anaheim, California.
Yes, the hills of
We are
Anaheim.
based out of Southern California. And so a lot of the courses that we're going to hit are going to be in this area, but we're definitely going to jump around and go, outside of the county. But we decided on Anaheim Hills, I think, because we both had played it once. We played on Memorial Day. I think it's important to note when you play on a holiday, because I think that sometimes that changes, like the pace, or definitely changes the price. Some places they'll have
Yeah.
a holiday price. When I'm looking for somewhere to play, I typically go to Golf Now to see where the tee times are. That's where I go to see, like, if I can tee off from 9 to 11 on a Saturday, this is what's available to me. And so that's typically where I start. I did the same thing here. I went to Golf Now, I found the tee times, and then I went to the Anaheim Hills site and looked at the tee times and the prices there. So once I got on the site, this is how Anaheim Hills Golf Club describes herself. She says, She is, quote, above the ordinary, fun, accessible, and challenging. Do you think that she caught herself there, Kurt? Like, do you think that she captured her personality right there? Or was that just like her dating profile tagline?
Yeah, I would add modest to that description there. She did not fully describe herself. Very accurate. It was fun. We had a blast. Again, I think a lot of that was the twosome we were paired up with. Blessed with a great first pairing there. Definitely challenging.
I think I said this already, but this was both of our second times playing there. I had to go back and look through photos to identify the last time I had played there because I knew I had played there. I remember it being very difficult because I was new. And so I was probably only like 1 month in to like the first time I'd ever played a full round. It was 1 month after that I played Anaheim Hills. So a very challenging course. What was your experience the first time playing this course?
So I like to walk. I have a little push cart.
Yeah.
I think it gives me a little bit of exercise while I'm out there. And then my dad always said when you're walking up behind your ball, it gives you a chance to like look at your next shot and kind of think about it. So I've always felt like I played better when I walk. But I rolled up to Anaheim Hills the first time, push cart, walked up to the clubhouse, and then they're like, nope, no walkers. So walking is not even allowed, even if you wanted to try to walk it. And so I had to go back,
Really?
put my cart away and hop on a cart. And being a single, that can always be hit or miss because then you have to ride with a stranger in the cart. And 4 hours with someone rolling the dice, whether or not they're going to be fun or you get along, is always tough. So I think luckily I got my own cart. It was a slow enough day. They were able to, I think I just got lucky. I grabbed a cart and then they gave one of the other guys his own cart, and so we had 3 carts for our 4 guys.
Good.
So got lucky there. That isn't always the case. Don't always count on that. They usually charge you extra if you're doing that, and some courses won't even let you do it. I do remember that as a little bit of a hiccup. It's not posted on their website that you can't walk. I wish places would
Mm,
advertise that if they're gonna say it. But also, I don't think it's impossible to walk. It's definitely hilly. It's Anaheim Hills, and there's a couple of
no.
holes that are, steep up or down, but I think if you're willing or wanting to, you should have the option.
Yeah, yeah, that's really interesting. I've never played somewhere where it's like a hard no.
I think someone said someone, like, died of either a heart attack or something
Oh,
physical related to walking the course, and so they no longer allow walkers because of that.
this course is in Anaheim, and so it reminds me of Disneyland, how no one actually ever dies at Disneyland. They wheel you out and say that you died after
Yeah.
leaving the park. It's giving Anaheim, California here. So now that, we've introduced our girl Anaheim Hills, let's get nerdy. This is your nerdy Curdy segment. Alternative. Get nerdy with Curdy. Tell us a little bit about this course. Like give us the inside tea.
Built in 1972 by Richard Bigler, and their fairways are Bermuda grass, and then their greens are bent grass. I did read that in 2017, Anaheim Hills, they received a certification from Audubon, and they got that for their efforts to preserve the natural heritage of the game of golf, for enhancing its natural areas and wildlife habitats, and for minimizing potentially harmful impacts that come with daily golf course operations. They replaced 29 acres of turf with either native grasslands or drought tolerant plants. So they put in a lot of work. And then they also had no spray zones where they were added in the groundwater that runs through the course and then includes that. Remember that lake in front of that par 3, hole 7?
Is that the only water on that course?
That is the only water on the course. For some stats or statistics, it's a par 71. The front is par 35. The back is par 36. The rating and slope depends on which tees you play. Because of the guys we were playing with, Jordan and Steve, they both wanted to play the green tees, which for most courses, they would call those the white tees. That's kind
Okay.
of
Yeah.
there's the championship tees, the black tees, which are black here at Anaheim Hills, and then the green tees, and then the gold tees are the up tees. A lot of courses do like a combo if you want to do a little bit more challenging. The green, which is what I played, was 69.4 with a 120 slope, and the gold, which you played, was 71 with a 128 slope.
So, as a new golfer, this was very confusing to me, the whole rating and slope system. So, tell our listeners, and I'm sure if you're listening to a golf podcast, you know, but if you were brand new like me a year ago, I didn't know what these numbers meant. If you could just like give a little like 101 brief download on what does the gold 71 128 mean to me?
So the rating is what a scratch golfer would shoot. So someone who's basically zero handicap, they shoot par every hole. That's what they would shoot on that hole or on that course. And then the slope, it's basically how challenging the course gets for like an amateur golfer versus a pro. So the higher that number, the more challenging is, the bigger the difference between what a scratch golfer would shoot and what an average golfer would shoot. It's kind of how much more difficult it is. So how much trouble you can get in off the tee. The higher that number, the harder that course is going to be.
Right. Okay.
So when you're looking at things, you want to look. Most of them are going to be like around 68 to 72, I would say, for the rating. They all kind of range in that area, and then you want to try to find a lower slope for the to find an easier if you're looking for an easier course.
Right. Right. Okay. That makes sense. Cool. Anything else in that segment, Curdy?
The only other thing I added was the no walking, carts only.
Have you played at a lot of courses that have that?
Tierra Rajada out in it's like out in Thousand Oaks,
Yeah. Yeah,
and
it's an Arcus course. Uh-huh.
I was playing with my SoCal Golf Guys league. Shout out SoCal Golf Guys. But so went out there, had my push cart. Same thing as what happened in Anaheim Hills, except for they didn't say anything to me about not walking. It wasn't until I was walking up to the first tee box that other guys in my league were like, "You're walking? You're crazy." And I was like, they didn't say anything to me, but I guess the guy who runs our league said he went to try to walk and they told him it's unwalkable. And he was like, "We've walked on the moon. You can't tell me it's unwalkable." Like, but so I walked that course and it was tough for sure. It's very, very hilly. I think I could have walked Anaheim Hills. It wouldn't have been fun. Some of those big uphills, like 15 is that big par four downhill. 12 is that par three down the hill. So like getting up to those would be tough. Going down them also is not always the most fun with a push cart. So not easy, but I certainly think I physically could do it.
The times that I have walked were both at David Baker because after 7 you have to walk. Like that's just their rule. They stop carts at like 7 to 10. So there's carts available the rest of the day, but at that time that's when they stop the carts. So that's the only time
Interesting.
I've ever had to do it, which is a shorter course anyway. Okay, so Kurt, when you're looking for golf and like where you're going to play and where you're going to go, where do you typically check out reviews? Like what is your MO for finding out if you want to play somewhere?
So I will first go to a trusted friend. I think word of
Okay.
mouth is by
Word of
far
mouth.
better than any Google reviews or anything like that. If I'm coming in blind though, like if I'm visiting a new city or I just moved to the area and I don't know anyone that plays in this area, I am a Google person. I like Gmail, I like Google Calendar, I do Google Sheets, Google Docs. I am a Google person through and through. So, and I use Google Maps. I'm an Apple. I've got a MacBook, an iPad, an iPhone, an Apple Watch. So I've got all things Mac, but I do not like Apple Maps. I don't know why. My wife is all about Apple Maps and only uses Apple Maps. I do like when you're driving and it'll like vibrate on your watch when the turn is coming up if you're navigating. But all that to say is I use Google reviews so I pull up the course to see where it is in the map, like how far it is away from me. And then I look at their reviews in Google. My wife is a Yelp person. She likes to look at, like, whenever we're looking up a restaurant to go eat at, she pulls up Yelp, I pull up Google
Yeah,
Maps.
okay.
So
I'm a Google gal too. I am always Google reviewing. I love Google reviews. I love leaving Google reviews. I love looking at them. I sometimes will go on Golf Now to look at the reviews, but typically people are pretty bitchy on there, so like I don't go there. So what we're going to do in this segment is let you know what the people are saying about these courses because we want to know going in. I'm a person too who takes reviews with a grain of salt. Like, I think that people leave reviews pretty much if they have a really good experience or if they have a really bad experience as a way to like air their
Yeah.
grievances.
I
So,
feel like the people are either leaving up because they had a bad experience, like people only go to
yeah.
reviews when it's a negative experience, or they're running some sort of promo where you get a free appetizer if you leave a review or something like that. Like,
That's the problem with Yelp is that
yeah,
Yelp has those incentives, Google does not. So, anyway, I'm going to stick with Yelp on this one. The only reason I'm going to stick with Yelp on these reviews is because they were funnier.
yep,
Google was a little too straightforward and practical for me, but
yeah,
on Yelp, you really get some wackadoos. So, the 5-star review that I read. So, okay, so what we're going to do in this segment is read the most recent 5-star review and then read the most recent low-star review just so that we can see what people are saying out there. The 5-star review is from Tiffany A, and she says, quote, always a good experience, nice staff, some of my favorite views, and lots of wildlife. Straight to the point. That's all that she said. And amen. Like, good
yep.
experience, nice staff, beautiful views, and wildlife. Tiffany covered the bases there for sure.
Yeah, the staff was great. The starter giving us tips. The Rangers came around a couple of times and waved. Everyone was courteous. But the wildlife, man, those two
Yeah.
hawks flying on hole 15. We saw a coyote on like hole 3 or 4. Oh, and then on hole 2, I thought that was funny with Jordan and Steve, the father son duo we got paired up with. Someone hit up behind us. I didn't see it. It wasn't like they were hitting into us, but there was a ball that landed just behind us on the tee box, and the
Yeah.
squirrel was running up to like attack the ball, and Jordan was like, "Oh, look at that squirrel," and Steve goes, those are rabbits." they were they were looking at two different animals, so they were both out there. But I thought that was pretty funny.
And then I think it was on the next hole that one of those squirrels stole one of his
Oh yeah,
Rice Krispie treats.
yeah,
So
they jumped into the cart. They were aggressive squirrels.
that squirrel ran off with the Rice Krispie treat. All right, Kurt. So you're going to read our 2-star review
All
from,
right.
it looks like Ian.
Our two-star king, Ian, had a lot to say. The best part I thought was this part. He said, I'm not sure how things got this way, but the golf shop smells like an armpit, and it's been that way for years. So shout out to Ian for leaving a golf review for the first 5 minutes of a 4.5 hour experience. Like,
For
you check into the
sure.
golf
And
shop and then no golf related content there, Ian. You couldn't give us anything about the course or.
I appreciate Ian's candor. However, I did not smell the pit when
No,
I
they've
went into the
definitely
golf
fixed it.
shop. Yeah. So, Ian, I think you should give Anaheim Hills a chance again. She's cleaned
Or,
up her act, and it does not smell like an armpit in the pro shop. In fact, the pro shop guy was really nice. I had a good experience chit-chatting with them, and like you said, like the staff was really great. Going back to our format here, we're going to break the round down by 3 things: price, playability, and personality. So let's start with price, which I think is often the first barrier for most people, right? Like what's in my budget? What can I afford? What am I willing to drop on a round? So we paid $95 each for a 9 a.m. tee time on Memorial Day. I think it's important to note that
yep.
it was a Memorial Day. It was a Monday. Typically, when we play together, Kurt, we're going to be playing on Saturdays and Sundays with our schedules. So that might change things a little bit. But I usually don't book on Golf Now. But when we were looking for tee times, that's where I was looking to see what was available to us. So got on Golf Now, put in our date and our time, and looked up the cost, went over to the Anaheim Hills site because I figured it would be cheaper there. And it actually wasn't, which I thought was really interesting because I think they have to kick back to Golf Now, right? It wasn't significantly more expensive, but like maybe $5 per person, even with the Golf Now fees. So we paid the Golf Now price. I don't know if that's like a supply demand thing where they try to like if they're not filling tee times, they do deals through Golf Now or what. But I usually book through the course site or call the shop. How do you book?
I almost exclusively book through the golf sites. I've got I've got a
Yeah.
bookmark folder just called golf courses, and I've got Costa Mesa, Lakewood, Glen Ivy, Skylinks, Rancho San Joaquin. Used to play a lot in LA, and LA City Golf has
Yeah.
all of the city courses together, which is nice. You can book, and actually, is it Skylinks, I think, is connected to Hartwell Rec Park, something else, and Skylinks. It's kind of cool. You can check them all and then see a bunch of different tee times. But yeah, I just go to the site because I'm a single. I usually book. I should probably look at golf now because I
Same.
think they do those flash deals where they'll like pick one tee
Yeah.
time, like a hot tee time, and do a flash deal, and you get a better deal that way. But I've found a lot of success as a single booking. They have a lot of places have that 24-hour cancellation policy. So
Right.
if you're looking for a Saturday morning tee time, you want to look Thursday night because the night before that 24 hours when people are usually canceling any unused tee times so they don't get charged.
Smart. Yeah. I haven't even thought about that. Okay, so we paid 95 bucks each for the round. What did you think about the cost?
Yeah, we certainly have to reiterate that we are in Southern California.
Yeah.
Prices of golf is a lot higher in this area than in other parts of the country. But I thought that's more than fair. We're both, like you said, South County. In Irvine, you've got Strawberry Farms. It's like $150 or something. I think it's even higher than that now.
On a weekday, on a Wednesday,
Yeah.
maybe.
Oak Creek is like 225. Even Tustin Ranch is up there, which is a nice course. But yeah, for the course condition, the pace of play on holiday, especially, I thought because usually holidays they give you weekend pricing.
Correct.
So, which I found interesting that they still kept the range closed on their normal Monday scheduling of the range, but I felt like they should
Right.
have opened it up because they should have treated it like a weekend. But
Right.
that's my only gripe with the course is that. But great price for the course. It's in really good shape. Really liked it. I thought it was well worth the price.
So did I. I thought it was well worth the price. It didn't seem like they were gouging us or anything at the 95. That seemed like a very normal rate for the golf that we were playing.
Yeah, and that includes a cart too, because a lot of times,
Yeah, that
like I
includes
said,
cart, right. So that was
I
all in. Yeah, that was all
Yeah,
in for us.
with Anaheim Hills, they don't allow walking, so the price is the price, and you get a cart with that price. But a lot of times I walk, and the price you see, like Rancho San Joaquin, the price that they list on their website is with a cart. So I actually end up
Right.
paying a little bit less than that because I walk. So
Yeah,
it's
that makes
interesting, like
sense.
to see the price, and then I always like kind of know with at least with Rancho San Joaquin, it's a little less. Some other courses will post a time or post a price but then it'll be like plus 15 for the cart. So you're actually paying more if you want to ride.
All right, let's talk playability.
I thought playability was great. I did read somewhere that I don't know if this was only during construction or if they have switched it up, but that they flip flopped the front and the back. And I'd have to do more research on what that looks like. But I love the confidence booster of having a par five to start, especially a
Yeah.
short downhill par five really gets your confidence going for the rest of the course. We talked to the marshal before teeing off and asked him for his advice, and he said don't go left on the first three holes, which was definitely true. And as long as you avoided that, you're in pretty good shape. I think we played the first few holes pretty well. Overall, the course, I think great playability, nothing too challenging, but there were some challenging holes. But yeah, I thought the course was in great shape, good conditions.
Yeah, I think as a beginner, I thought that the course was difficult because I think every course is difficult. But as someone who's like been playing a long time, did you think it like held up to like the other courses around here, like Rancho San Joaquin or Strawberry Farms? Because I think that the slope on those are similar.
Yeah, I thought it was a challenging course. It's a little shorter, but they make up for it with
Yeah,
a lot of narrow fairways, a lot of accurate tee shots. Two of the holes, I think it was hole 3 and hole 4, back-to-back dog legs, and you got to be smart about your tee shot. If you hit driver straight ahead, you're in trouble. So you got to either play a draw or a fade or hit an iron off the tee, and it's all about placement as opposed to distance. So it's a shorter course, but they make it challenging. A lot of accurate tee
yeah,
shots. There's a couple of holes where you could be in danger, but they put those big nets up. I think that's smart
yeah.
and protective of the golfers. And then a lot of tree lined fairways, so kind of helps keep you in play. You get lucky and hit a tree and stay in your side.
Do you know what the signature hole was? at Anaheim.
I would bet it'd be 15. Do they say which there's a signature hole?
They don't. A lot of courses, when they're describing their courses, they'll call out a signature hole or
Yeah.
2. But I didn't find one, and then I meant to ask when I went into the shop, but I totally forgot. But give me your top 2 favorite holes.
Gosh, I mean, I think I wanna discern between favorite hole and, like, the holes that
How you
I played
played?
well because those are 2 completely different things. Like, I think that 6 iron on hole 3 was probably my best shot of the day and made me kinda like that hole more,
Yeah.
even though didn't hit it great off the tee, but having that good recovery shot. And I like the layout of that hole, that's that dogleg right. But I think overall, 15, that downhill par 4, not terribly long and relatively open. You've got 16s coming back at you, so you can be in their fairway. That was where we saw the 2 hawks flying from up above, had really cool views. Hole 5 was at par 3
Well, that
down
one
the
was
hill
great.
right before going to the snack shop. It has the driving range to the left, which
Yeah.
can be dangerous, but you get the views. There's a few houses up on that hill that look really nice. The views from that tee box are really cool. It's Anaheim Hills, so a lot of cool elevated tee boxes giving you a lot of good views. I also really liked hole 10 because I striped my drive down the middle and it's a kind of a blind shot, but yeah, that was fun. Let's see. Top 2, I would say out of all that, hole 7 is the only hole at the water. You're hitting over the
Okay, yeah,
water. That hole was cool, and then I think hole 15
yeah.
I'd have to go with.
None of us hit the water on 7, which was a miracle. Usually out of 4, there's someone hitting the water. You've got a really good memory, like, for your shots. I think I go out and most of my drives were okay yesterday, but couldn't tell you for sure. I
I
think
could
that's really cool. And then I noticed, like, when you're playing too, you track that kind of stuff, right? You track it pretty
Yeah.
carefully, and that probably helps you remember as well.
So I could tell you every single one of my shots from that day,
Right,
from that round.
right.
I do my score and then fairways hit, greens hit, and putts. So if I hit the fairway on my tee shot, that's a plus. And then I do left or right as well because when I'm entering my score into the GIN,
Mhm.
the
Yep.
SCGA GIN app, it allows you to enter it with stats, and you can do left or right of the fairway or short or long, but usually it's left or right. And then same thing with the green, you can be left, right, short, or long, or if you hit the green in regulation. So on a par 3, you wanna hitting the green in regulation is on your tee shot, your first shot, to give you 2 putts to make 3. On a par 4, it's your second shot, and on par 5, it's your third shot. So I track if I hit the green in regulation, if I hit a fairway off my tee shot, so par 3s, you don't count those, there's no,
Right.
fairway to hit in regulation. And then I track my putts. So all of that gets entered into my stats, and then I can pull it up and see, "Man, I've been hitting everything left lately, I need to really fix that."
Did you always do that, or has that been more recent for you?
No, that's more recent.
And what's your handicap, Kurt?
Yeah. Right now, I think I'm an 8.4, what I put it in here. I was down to a 7 point yeah, I'm an 8.4 right now.
Hell yeah, dude.
For
That's awesome. Eva, you're 23.
for a new golfer, that's amazing. Yeah, there's people that I play with that have been golfing for as long as me or, for years who are still at 23.
We can get into this in other episodes, but I've really disciplined myself. I practice. I have practice time. I have play time. I have lesson time. If you're a weekend golfer, that totally makes sense. I mean, this game is really hard and it's slow improvements. So if you're only playing once a week, that's going to take years, right? Let's move into our last category, personality. If Anaheim Hills were a person, who would she be?
Man.
I think she'd be a good time.
Yeah, she's like a short little spicy, like she's got a little bit of attitude, but she's
Ooh,
confident, but
okay.
uh
Yeah.
but definitely short with the
Uh-huh. Definitely
distance.
short.
So
Yeah.
so our short queen.
Yeah.
But yeah, has confidence. She's got that Orange County swagger.
She does. Yeah. I thought that the overall vibe was good. I mean, listen, if I'm golfing anytime, I recognize the privilege that it is to just be out on a golf course. Like, that I have the time and the tools and the flexibility to go and just play as an adult, play a game for like 4 hours. That is insane. I recognize it's insane. So overall, I'm going to have a good time if I'm golfing. For me, that's actually a good place to gauge where I'm at with my game. If I'm not having fun or I'm getting too frustrated, then I know I need to change my attitude because what's the point? I'm literally paying to just what? Like be frustrated with myself. So I really do try to like keep that perspective. So for me, it was great. Like 2 days before this, I was very sick and dehydrated and, went to the hospital, got fluids. So I was on the mend yesterday when we played. And by like hole 12, I was pretty tired. I was kind of done. I was fading. I wasn't keeping up like I usually do. Even there, though, I still had a really good time. I thought it was a great course. I thought the staff was great. I thought that the golf was great. Yeah, tell me what you thought. Give me some of your feedback.
Yeah. Yeah, likewise. And, first, I wanna say I couldn't tell you played it off very well. I even knew that you hadn't been feeling well, so, you mentioned after hole 12 you felt like you were a little too tired, but I didn't get that sense
Okay.
from
All
you.
right. Make it till you
Perhaps
make
that's
it.
because on holes 10, 11, and 13, I played some of the worst golf and let my frustrations get the best of me there, but I'm trying to be better, and then, you know, the playing partners helped. Jordan came over and gave me a little hug after hole 13, which I thought was nice.
That was nice.
They were super fun. It's, hit or miss when you get paired up with strangers, but I think they were probably the best option for us for our first podcast. Not only excited about it, said they're going to listen, which I actually believe that they will. But yeah, they're great playing partners. But overall, there's a couple holes I wish I could take back, but I played really well, and a day like this, and I think a lot of our courses are going to be this way. I kind of go into it differently depending on the round that I think I'm going to have or what I'm looking for. Like if I'm playing in a league, there's one league I'm in where there's money on the line. If you win a skin or if you get close to the pin, you can win some money. So I take those seriously and have a totally different vibe sometimes than when I'm playing just for fun or you're with a group of friends on like a holiday and it's just a good time. What's crazy is you end up shooting better sometimes on those days where you're not caring as much or you're focused on having the good time versus playing well because golf is such a mental game. And when you focus on trying to play too good, then that's when you start playing bad.
So do you find yourself playing safer like when you play in a league?
No, so there's a few factors to that. I usually am playing a little bit safer when there's money or a tournament standings on the line, but also how you're playing. Like if I'm hitting my driver really well, then I might pull it out on a short par four and go for the green. If I'm feeling really confident with my driver that day, or I heard Fat Perez, he's a YouTube golfer that I follow who's very talented. He's actually lost a ton of weight, so he's no longer Fat Perez. They're calling him a Fit Perez now, but he made this comment that I loved. We'll post about it later, but it's like you dance with the girl that you brought to the dance or something like that. If you're pulling it left, you just got to aim to the right and adjust accordingly. Like you can't fix your game. You can't try to make changes during the round because your round will blow up. So you just got to play. Some days you're hitting your irons really well, so you just play with your irons. Some days you're hitting your driver really well, so you hit your driver. You go with the girl you brought to the dance. You don't try to go with someone else. You don't try to make your game something it's not.
All right, Kurt, the moment of truth. Yesterday, when we were leaving the course, I gave Kurt a whiteboard. And this whiteboard is going to show Kurt's overall score. So we're doing it on a
It's
scale of
blank
one
right
to
now,
oh,
but
it's blank.
yeah, well,
Interesting. Okay.
I wanted
So
to I wanted to go through this and talk about it, and I'm gonna write my score down while we're like in the moment.
okay. So I think we approach this differently, Kurt, and I like this. So
Okay,
for our listeners, we are rating the full experience on a scale of 1 to 10. I love a scale of 1 to 10 rating. Like, oftentimes I'll be like, to my wife or to my friends, I'll say, on a scale of 1 to 10, how important is this to you? Or on a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you hate this or whatever? So I thought we could do our own ratings here. 1 is never again, don't want to go back. No, thank you. 10 is love it, put me on the membership list, can't wait to get back. Best course I've ever played. I have not seen Kurt score yet, and he's obviously doing his right now. I did mine ahead of time and put it aside because I didn't want to change it. Kurt.
Are you ready for my score?
So ready.
Well, I don't know if this is going to be allowed, but I was going to say 8 out of 10. I have it up there. I had a blast. I really enjoyed it. All around good time, good course. I was playing well. So I was thinking 8, but I thought I would go with my current handicap and gave it an 8.4 out of 10.
Really? Nice. Okay. Wow.
It's up there. It's going to be tough to beat.
So I'm not going to beat that score. So I'm a tougher critic. Here's where I land.
Ooh, 6.5. I like that you did a decimal though, because I was nervous about doing that here.
Let's put this into a little bit of perspective. I don't think that I have played a 10 course yet. Like in my mind, a 10 is going to be like Torrey Pines or Pebble Beach, or there's the club at the Yellowstone Club that I really want to play in Montana, those type of places. What's a 10? What's a 10 for you?
Yeah, so my wife was a competitive dancer. I grew up in the entertainment industry and I could never be a judge of any competition show cuz I feel like I'd be giving out too high of scores. But I don't know, it's hard for me to choose a 10, like what a true 10 would be. I think I've certainly played some 9.9s. I think Virginia Country Club is up there. Just I love the course. I always play well when I'm there. The grass is phenomenal. It's always in good shape. The snack shack, everything about it is just phenomenal. I played golf in Hawaii, Wailea Emerald Course.
Oh,
Played there for my honeymoon. So not only was I there in the best mood, we had just gotten married. We had a delayed honeymoon, but we were there for our honeymoon. So we were like wedded bliss. Everything was exciting. We had saved up. So our motto that weekend was splurge. So like we were getting the extra everything, like getting the best food, getting the best drinks. I booked Wailea. Like that course was phenomenal. There's water everywhere you look. Everything about it was nice. The practice area, the way they treat you, they greet you right away. They put your clubs on your cart for you. They wash your clubs after the round. Like everything about it was great. So definitely played some, what I would consider tens. I don't know if I could realistically give them tens because I'm sure like those are the courses I've played, but I
right.
know that there's
Yeah.
courses out there that are $1,000 to play or like even more than that. But for courses that I'm able to play, I've played some 9.9s.
I love that. I love that breakdown. Yeah, 6.5 for me. Where I come from, C's get degrees. Last week, when me and my wife were talking, she's like, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you love our puppy? And it takes me a minute to love puppies and dogs. I like them at first, but like to really love them, it takes me a minute. And I gave her a 6.5. And my wife was so offended. She was like, "What?"
Yeah, and again, I don't think I could be a judge on any of those competition shows, just because I sometimes go by feel or go by emotion, and I just had a blast yesterday. I thought it was a really good time. Vibes were high because we're starting this new podcast. There was
Yeah.
excitement around that. The guys we were with were super fun. I was playing well, so
Yeah.
I think that affected my score. The first time I played Anaheim Hills, I would have probably given it a 4 because, like anyone, personality changes. I'm sure that I've been around people and they thought I was a 4 if I'm in a bad mood, or I've been around people where I'm in a good mood and people probably gave me a 6.5
Right.
or an 8.4.
Yeah.
So, personality can change things. The pace of play was great. The conditions were good. So it wasn't windy. It wasn't rainy. All those things affect. So I think it's fair to say that the scores could change day by day. We could come back after a year of doing this podcast, play Anaheim Hills again, and I think we'd have different scores.
Yeah, maybe we should. Maybe that's what we should do in a year. Just to memorialize our first episode, we should come back and play Anaheim Hills
For
one
sure.
more time and just kind of see where we land. I think that this is an awesome course. Highly recommend to anyone in the area who's looking for somewhere that's, I think, a little challenging. Just a beautiful course. Like the views were beautiful. The course itself I thought was well maintained and really nice, and it was a good time. I would go back for sure.
Yeah, I would definitely go back. I recommend it to out of towners. You're coming into town, you got Disneyland tickets one day, maybe head out and play Anaheim Hills the next day
Yeah,
or flip it around so you're not too
sure.
tired, but recommend it.
Okay, so coming up, we are going to play Black Gold in Yorba Linda. You've played there once? Twice? Couple
I
times?
played there once.
Okay.
I've played there once, but I played it in a scramble format, so it a lot different when you're playing scramble. I'm hitting driver on a hole where I normally wouldn't. You're going for the green on every shot instead of playing safe. So I'm interested to play that one again. I know there's some beautiful holes. It again was in really good shape when I played it last time. I think it typically is that way. So I'm looking forward to playing a true round with them.
Me too. I've never played there. Can't wait. I love going somewhere new. Well, thanks for listening.
That's I think we'll get a decent audience to start. We've got some, I'm in a couple of different golf leagues that I think would listen just out of respect. Not maybe, we'll see if we can capture their attention for more than one episode,
Right.
but I think they'll give it a shot to start.
Yeah, forgive us for, I mean, this is our first one. We've never done this before. So please keep listening. Please rate. Please subscribe.
Like and subscribe. Smash that subscribe button. Gross. I can't believe I just said that.
All right. So next up is, what's it called again? Black Gold. I
Black
keep
Gold.
wanting to call it Black and Blue, which is the title of a Backstreet Boys album, but it's Black
I'm an
Gold
NSYNC guy.
Golf Club. Ooh, and so we're gonna have to unpack that one.